A very good morning to you, and if you're joining us for the first time, we're coming to you live from the OR Tambo International Airport. This will be the venue for the World Wildlife Day 2018, the 5th edition of the World Wildlife Day for 2018. Now, if you're wondering why is it being held at the airport, well, the international airport is actually the catalyst for many crime syndicates to carry out their illegal trade of poaching or illegal criminal activities associated with the environment. Now, this is a day where we embrace and challenge ourselves, to take charge and also to reflect on the importance of wildlife conservation and the dangers that threaten the survival of all flora and fauna and wild animals. Now, the big focus this year is actually the big cats, and here with me to talk to us about that and other issues as well is the Deputy Director General of Legal and Enforcement in the Department of Environmental Affairs, Mr. Ishaam Abader. Very good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Simpiwe. Thank you very much.
Now, first of all, take us through what the youth engagement initiatives is with regards to animal conservation.
Well, we have quite a few initiatives as a department. I mean, apart from the school initiatives where we educate around environment generally, we also have specific programs, for example, our Kids in Parks program, where we allow access to the parks for kids. And that's basically to raise awareness around issues like conservation. Then we've also got an initiative with the South African Institute of International Affairs, and they're going to be handing over a memorandum later to the department. So from that perspective, there's quite a bit happening. We're also trying from the perspective of our parks to get environmental monitors introduced into our conservation space so that the youth are empowered and they understand the imperatives of the department.
Now, there have been so many disagreements on the international front. Some countries don't want to be told by other countries who are not home to wildlife, especially those in Africa. So is there a plan in place to create multilateral efforts?
Yes, we actually engage at various levels internationally. I mean, there's a global engagement by South Africa at various fora. There's also a continental engagement at an AU level, the African Union. And then at a SADC level, there's a regional engagement. So these engagements happen, as you said, multilaterally, but also bilaterally. And we look at range states, we look at transit states, and we look at consumer states as well. So there are various initiatives where we engage with our neighbors, both locally and internationally, to raise awareness to try and combat the scourge of wildlife trafficking.
So what's the department hoping to gain from this convention?
Well, from today's, we want to raise awareness about wildlife trafficking. It's become a serious problem internationally. The estimated amount of money that's generated from illegal wildlife trafficking is between $7 and $23 billion a year. So our initiative here today is to try and raise awareness about wildlife crime and specifically where our resources are being pillaged, our fauna and flora.
Just how important are initiatives like this to raise awareness and to educate members of society about the importance of conserving the environment?
Yeah, usually the products that are being targeted are sort of high-value products. And, for example, if they are decimated, our kids won't have an opportunity to see those products, or those animals, sorry. So the initiative is to conserve and to ensure that whatever we do from an enforcement and compliance perspective helps us to ensure the integrity of our natural resources.
Okay, just briefly, take us through the latest figures when it comes to illegal trafficking.
Well, I can't give you exact figures, but we do about, for example, 4,000 CITES permits just here at the airport alone. Export, import, we're looking at about 300 more or less. The rhino figures we're looking at, I think it was last year, 1,028 rhino that were poached. So in terms of that, I can't give you the exact figures, but there's quite a bit happening in the space, and particularly at the airport. There's quite a bit that the department is doing together with SARS and our other partners, the SABC and all the other partners that are involved in the security space at the airport.
All right, Ishaam, thank you.
Thank you very much.
That is Ishaam Abader. He is the Deputy Director General for Law and Enforcement at the Department of Environmental Affairs, just giving us an overview of what this day is all about and what this day entails. Well, and I guess the key issue here is that the government, all the members of society are playing a role, or rather must play a role insofar as ensuring that we keep up to the norms and standards of the CITES Convention when it comes to conservation. We spoke earlier to Tom Moyane, the SARS Commissioner, and did mention that they are actually winning the fight against organized crime and crime syndicates. But then what I didn't particularly get, especially from the Chief Officer of the Customs and Excise, is that since they are being capacitated, or they're building capacity in all their departments and in all the sections of their departments, how then are they winning the fight if the capacity is still being built, if they're not there yet? These are some of the issues that will be ventilated and deliberated in today's convention, which will be taking place right here at the OR Tambo International. I'm Simpiwe Ngwana. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time then, it's goodbye from OR Tambo Airport.